Today we are going to discuss about how to delete an element from an array. Before that, we have an array of 8 elements. So here I have taken n is equals to 8 and I have inserted elements randomly starting from 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4. And all these elements have their corresponding indices shown in red color. The number 5 begins with index 0, then 6 with index 1 and so on with index 7. We know in array the index starts from 0, thus it ends with n minus 1. So here when we delete an element, after deleting an element, the new element, the number of new array element becomes n minus 1. So right now the total elements is n, which is 8. After deletion, the element will becomes n minus 1, which is equals to 8 minus 1, and thus the range of the array will become 0 to last it was 7. Right now, since it is 8 minus 1, which is 7, so it becomes 7 minus 1, because we know it is every time n minus 1, and now currently the n becomes n minus 1. Now let's delete an element. So to begin the deletion, we need to choose a position, which position we want to delete. So let's take a variable named position. So position we considered as 5. So for the fifth position, we will be deleting that element. So basically the fifth position means the fourth index. This is the first position, this is the second position, this is the third position, this is the fourth position, and this is the fifth position. So fifth position is the fourth index where the element is 1. So we need to delete the 1 element, and we need to arrange all the other elements after 1 in such a way that when we print the array, it should display like 5, 6, 7, 8, 2, 3, 4. So let's see how it works. Now we have the array passed from the main function by calling delete from array, and here we pass the array, we pass the position, and we pass the size of the array, the original size, not the revised or the new size. Once we call this delete from array from the main function, after passing all the different parameters, the program controls comes to the function definition, and here all the values from the main function are being received inside the parameter of the delete from array. So the parameters are array, position, and the size of the array n. Now after receiving all the values into the parameters, so here values are, first the array is, we know that this is the base address of the array, this is the position, and the position that we want to delete is 5, and the original size of the array is n equals to 8. So here we received 8. Now after receiving all these values, we begin our logic. So we have declared a variable I that will basically iterate through the loop, iterate through all the indices of the array. Now next, if position is greater than equals to n plus 1, so n is 8, total number of element is 8. So if I need to 8, maybe the last element, 8 indicates the 7th index. So 8 is a legal value. Now 8 plus 1. If the position is somehow, I have entered the position as 10 or 11 or 9, which is an invalid position, because the array size is 8 and the position cannot be greater than 8. That is why here written the position greater than equals to n plus 1. So the position cannot be greater than the size of the array. If so, if the position is entered greater than the size of the array, which is wrong, in that case, we print a message deletion not possible. And this print is inside this if. This print statement will be executed only when the position entered is greater than the size of the array. Else, since in our case the position is 5, so in this case the if condition is not satisfied, we comes to the else part. And in the else part, the first thing is that it iterates through the loop. So what does the iteration does? Let's see. So I equals to position minus 1. So 5. 5 is my position. So position minus 1. So I is equals to 4. So here I has been initialized with the value 4. Now I will be continued till I less than n minus 1. N minus 1 means 8 minus 1 means 7. Now when I is equals to 4, what it does? It rearrange the element of the array. So it keeps the array I is equals to array I plus 1. That means array I is currently this one. This index is my array I. So what I does is I am storing array of I plus 1 into array I. What is I plus 1? I plus 1 is the fifth index. So I am storing these 2 to the index 4. This is how I will be able to delete 1 or the fourth index or the position 5. So here array of index 4 will contain element 2. Now next at index 5. So here one shift has been done. This will be this shifting of element to the previous index will be continued until and unless we reach the last element. So here at I equals to 5, what happens? ARR of index 5 will contain, so 3 will now come to the position of index 5. So right now the current I is at 5, so 3 will come to the index 5. So here it will become 3. I equals to 6, ARR of 6, it will store value 4, because at I equals to 6 the value will be stored from 7. So value 4 has been stored inside ARR of 6. Now when I equals to 7, now when I becomes 7, it is not equals to 7, but the condition is less than n minus 1. That means I have already shifted the last element to the second last position, that is I equals to 6. So the last element need not to be done anything else. So my array has been reduced and the new array element has been formed by deleting 1. So the new array element now looks like 5, 6, 7, 8, 2, 3, 4. Now we can say that the element has been deleted from the fifth position. So again, doing a recap, the main idea of deleting an element is to shift the element that we want to delete, shift the later element that we want to delete. That means here we are trying to shift 2 in place of 1, we are shifting 3 in place of 2, and we are shifting 4 in place of 3, and that's all done. No further loop will be executed. And this is how shifting the elements to the element that we want to delete makes the element vanished. Thus the new element becomes 5, 6, 7, 8, 2,